Joins us as well, down by 10 points or about 0.2%, so now outpacing the losses that we're seeing here.
Now it's Australia's largest regional economy, the Hunter region in New South Wales, a hub for power generation and coal resources.
Well, a new report now from Deloitte finds the Asian century, the digital economy and green power are set to be the key drivers of growth over the coming decades.
Sky News business reporter Nigel Freitas is with Rick Symes from Deloitte Access Economics. Let's take you there live now.
Yeah, good morning to you, Brooke and James. As we know, the Hunter region, one of the powerhouses of the Australian economy, and what happens there really reflects the economy as a whole, and that's why it's getting so much attention from Deloitte Access Economics. I've got Dr. Rick Symes with me. They've just completed a report into the prospects of the region. Dr. Symes, this report that you've produced, what are the factors you found that are going to influence growth in the Hunter region?
They're factors that are affecting Australia overall, but in a particular way in the Hunter. So they're factors like demand from Asia, the growth of the digital economy, population growth, so both more people and an older population, environmental factors, the whole lot are affecting the character of the Hunter economy going forward.
In terms of what it's known for today or in the past, it seems to be power generation and also manufacturing, but it may not be known for that in the future. How is it going to transform?
Yeah, well, you're right. In the past, it's had a very strong steel industry and it's already transformed quite a lot. It's a very diverse economy. Mining clearly is very important at the moment. Agriculture is and the like. As with any economy in Australia, though, the dominant employer of people is the services sector, and so health and education and retail and all of those. That's where most of the economy is.
What about the mining sector? You're forecasting a greater role for that in that particular region.
Yeah, mining, the prospects for mining in the Hunter are very strong for the next decade and maybe beyond that. The growth, the demand for coal and other energy resources might wane further out as economies around the world find alternatives to coal for energy. But for the next decade or two, mining is going to be very important for the Hunter and lead to a lot of growth.
What about our carbon tax and the transition to a lower carbon intensive economy? Is that going to affect things in the Hunter as well, in terms of coal too?
It will. Most of the coal produced in the Hunter is exported. It also goes into electricity generation, and the Hunter provides a lot of New South Wales electricity generation. Putting a price on carbon over time is going to see less reliance on coal in electricity generation, more use of gas, more use of other alternative fuels, and so over time that will clearly have an impact on the Hunter.
Now, one word that I saw quite a lot in this report that I like is the digital economy. It kept cropping up. Things like teleworking or working remotely from remote locations, they seem to hinge pretty heavily on the NBN and the rollout of the NBN. Is this really crucial to the growth of the Hunter in the future?
Well, the digital economy, the NBN's part of that in whatever manifestation it's part of that. The digital economy is transforming how our society operates, how our economy operates. And the Hunter's no exception. It means that the types of businesses that are going to be located there will change. The digital economy means that the businesses have a greater choice of location, and so they can choose where to live. People will have a greater choice of where to live and how they and how much they might work in the office or might telework or whatever.
And that growth from Asia you talked about, the Hunter's mainly going to benefit in terms of tourism, or are there other sectors as well?
Well, early on, for the next decade or so, it's primarily going to be mining.
Right.
That's going to be expanding. But if you look beyond the next decade, the challenge for the Hunter and the rest of Australia, in fact, is how we move from Asian demand for our resources to very rapid growth in the middle income population of Asia demanding services, so demanding tourism services or education services or whatever. And we need to find ways to make sure that we are able to sell those services to Asian clients. And the Hunter tourism clearly is going to be important there.
All right, Dr. Symes, thanks for your time today.
Thank you.
So there you have it, Brooke and James. Digital economy, Asian growth, and also maybe a greener future as well, all in store for the Hunter Valley or the Hunter region going forward. Back to you for now.
Thank you so much, Nigel. Quick update on Billabong, which we mentioned is it's the worst performer on the ASX 200 at this stage. It was down about 20%. Evan Lucas telling us volume is 2 times the norm. Explanation seems to be a Credit Suisse note that's kind of gone around, or the numbers that they've been crunching.
Yeah, look, they're suggesting that if